Davies in the middle. Checks back against Carter and scores. That is atypical for the Miedemar goal.
Quickly gets it back again. Oh, what a goal! Well, that sums up her season. The Gunners are WSL champions.
And we're back again. Welcome back to another episode of Vic Akers Wonderland. What a weekend it's been. 3 massive points for the Arsenal. And it's safe to say I think we're all happy, but first things first, I should say. I'm going to introduce my co-host today. As some of our YouTube viewers might see, Adam's not here today, but fear not, we have our super sub on the screen, which I will introduce in a second. But my co-host is back. Matt, how are you?
A bit of a whirlwind of emotions. I think we'll probably get onto that come before the match, because there was a lot of issues ongoing, and at one point you did mention, you were like, "Where are you?" at the ground on Sunday. So I'll save that explanation. But yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, and just happy to be talking about the experience and everything, because it was a massive game.
No, absolutely. I mean, talk about leave it to last minute. But last but not least is our very special guest. You might recognise him from our Cup series. Andreas, how are you?
Yeah, good evening, and thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, I'm not bad at all. Looking forward to talk with you about everything, and I'm still full of emotions from this roller coaster from Sunday with a happy end.
No, definitely. Absolutely. But first things first, we're going to quickly run through the news. Vivianne Miedemar has been called up for the Netherlands squad, which I'm not exactly too happy about myself. She's had no minutes for Arsenal yet. We haven't exactly seen her. But me and Matt are having a conversation. Hopefully she'll just be training with them with some luck. How did you guys feel when you saw her image on the Netherlands page?
To be honest, I saw it when I was in train home, and I thought this must be a mistake. she hasn't been in full training as far as we know. I read that she wants to play with the academy team first before she gets minutes in the WSL. Yeah, so far she hasn't done this, and now back in the Netherlands squad. Yeah, I hope that it's only for training and for development of the group and these connections with the other girls. I'm sure she's so experienced and she knows what's best for her. And even if Andries Jonker says, "Oh, are you ready to play?" I'm sure she will say, "No, I'm not ready for international for a national Nations League match, for a competitive match." I hope that she won't get minutes, but I hope she will have good training minutes with the Netherlands girls, good connections there. But please be careful. We need her at the Arsenal. Let her get minutes, a few minutes at Conti Cup or something else, but not in a Nations League match for Netherlands.
I have to agree with Andreas. It's pretty much the same thing. You'd imagine, obviously, Viv and Jonker have been in conversations where at times you've seen Viv actually back doing training sessions, but she hasn't been called into the squad. Jonker did mention in his press conference that if he did play her, it would only be for a few minutes against Scotland. My main worry, though, is that I think there is the idea that there is a Miedemar shaped hole in the Netherlands. They haven't been able to fill it, and they're sort of worried because there's a chance that they may not make the Olympics. It's the first time that's happened for a while, and it's difficult to say, really, would the Netherlands benefit from going to the Olympics, or would they rather have a rest and a break for the summer? I think a lot of those players have been playing, or I think they've had about 3 or 4 summers in a row, and they haven't had a break, something along those lines. Either due to the Olympics, World Cup, or European Championships. But it just shows you that maybe perhaps with Viv, she is an integral part to what the Netherlands do, and they'll want to try and keep her involved as much as possible. Just hope, though, that if she does get minutes, it's minimal, very minimal, maybe last 10 minutes of a game or something like that, and then that's it. I wouldn't want her to be pushing and pushing and pushing.
Thing is, for me, it's quite scary. You're reading that she's like a month away from returning properly, and it's not really something you want to hear. But the good news is Beth hasn't been called up for England, which is a sigh of relief. Even Serena Wiegmann has said she's just not ready. She's happy she's back on the pitch, but she needs to build at the club, and she just needs to get those consistent performances back. But we'll talk a bit more about Beth in a little bit. Back to England. The England team has been released for the next round of the Nation Leagues. So our goalkeepers are Mary Earps of Man United, Hannah Hampton of Chelsea. Receiving her first call up is Kira Keating from Man City and Ellie Roebuck from Man City. Defenders, we've got Millie Bright from Chelsea, Lucy Bruns from Barcelona, Jess Carter from Chelsea, Neem Charles from Chelsea, Alex Greenwood from Man City, Maya Letizia from Man United, Esme Morgan from Man City, Lucy Parker from Aston Villa, last but not least, our very own Lotta Woodman-Moy from Arsenal. Midfielders, we finally see Grace Clinton, who is currently on loan from Man United to Tottenham Hotspur, get her first England call-up to the senior team. Frank Kirby has returned from Chelsea, Georgia Stanway from Bayern Munich, Ella Toone from Man United, Kira Walsh from Barcelona, Katie Zellum from Man United. Up top, we've got Rachel Dalen from Aston Villa, Lauren Hemp from Man City, Lauren James from Chelsea, Chloe Kelly from Man City, Jess Park from Man City, and our very own Alessia Russo from Arsenal. Are we happy Lotta and Alessia are off to camp with Serena for England? Matt? Go to you first.
This is again another difficult one. You look at someone like Lotta, who hasn't really made that many appearances. In fact, just to put it into context, she's only had 10 international caps for England as a whole. It just feels like at this point she's being called up, but she's not getting the minutes. So, is it really worth it for her, considering that she could have spent the time maybe having a nice breakaway and getting the time to just sort of relax a little bit, have a little bit more of a break. With Alessia, there's more of that need and demand with her because she's seen as the number one striker. Or well, you can still argue that Rachel Daly still wears that weight as well. It's going to be difficult. I think it's going to be difficult to say what's going to happen in terms of formation and things like that. But I think the biggest change is that midfield, just because there's not that much weight in there. I think it's just Ella Toone and Kira Walsh in there, and then you've got Kate Zellum, who's had a couple of appearances now with Serena. But apart from that, it's basically a new midfield, which is and Georgia. Sorry.
Yeah, don't forget Georgia. I was about to say
Yes,
that. Don't forget Georgia Stanway.
I shouldn't forget Georgia because we do have a Bayern Munich fan who is also an Arsenal fan with us, and yes, as George. So essentially, you've got three midfielders that should be in there together, and then it's just everyone sort of fills the bench. I'm a bit concerned that there's 4 goalkeepers. That's my issue with it. Usually you take 3. That's it. You don't take 4.
Okay, that's interesting coming from our very own goalkeepers union. That's interesting. Andreas, what are your thoughts? Obviously, you're a fan of Georgia Stanway, and the Arsenal girls. Are you happy they both made it?
Yeah, of course, and I'm sure that Leslie will play a lot of minutes for England. She's in a good form. We saw this, and I would be happy for Lotta if she gets a few minutes. I think she had a very good match against Villa, and if you look at the statistics, this shows she kept Rachel Daly quiet, and she had a really good match. So, but yeah, she's very far down the pecking order for Serena. So I don't know. But for Lotta, I'm happy that she was nominated and she's in the squad, because we all know how much it means for her. When you see her posts in the social medias, she's always very proud to be in the squad. The goalkeeper situation is something really strange. We have Mary Earps. Of course, she will play all time, but then Ellie Roebuck doesn't get minutes at City, and Hannah Hampton is not in the squad at Chelsea. So we all hope that Mary plays well and doesn't get an injury. But what if? Who will be the number 2 English goalkeeper when they all are only sitting on the bench or in the stands? It's a strange situation, and I don't think that Serena can go through the whole next season with 2 goalkeepers that will not be playing at their clubs. It's strange, and I was at Kings Meadow to visit or to see Chelsea versus West Ham, and Hannah Hampton was so, she was preparing before the match, the warm up. I thought, oh, she's playing today, and then she had to sit in the stands near Thiago Silva, and after the match she was going through and giving autographs, making photos, smiling. She's so positive, and I'm really sad for her that she made this switch to Chelsea. I think this was the wrong step at this time. Maybe she should have waited one more year. Pity.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you there. It kind of puzzled me, especially when you look at Chelsea's bench. You've got the likes of Musovic, who had a brilliant World Cup for Sweden, and then you've got Berger, who can't get anywhere near being the Germany number 1 because it belongs to Mel Frums. But I'm not taking it away from Katrin Berger. She is a great keeper for Chelsea. She's just not my cup of tea. But let's just move on to what we're really here for. Late drama at the Emirates. Obviously, we were all there. Andreas, how was your day back? I know you were there for the Liverpool game as well, but how was your second match back at the Emirates?
As I said, it was an emotional roller coaster. First of all, it's fantastic to have 35,000 at the Emirates in a back-to-back match, 2 home matches at the Emirates within 2 weeks, and not against one of the top 4 teams. So it's really great, the attendance. The match itself, sometimes in second half, I said to my neighbor, we are playing even worse than versus Liverpool. It was no pace, no ideas, no real pressing against Villa. We gave them too much time, too much space to build up from behind. Of course, Villa was not willing to make something out of this. I think they had one chance in the first half. This was the corner, very poor defended. Three or 4 players from us were trying to keep Rachel Daly away from scoring, and yeah, I don't know what they were thinking in this moment, but it was the only chance Villa had, but we had a lot of ball possession, but we were not creating really chances. It was a little bit better at second half, and I think the subs made the impact. When Chloe Lacasse came in, when Stina Blackstenius came in, then there was more pace or more pressure on Villa, and yeah, but it lasted until the last 5 or 10 minutes of normal time when we really pressed for the equalizer, and then of course the extra time was something extra special, and these emotions, and fantastic. So is that
No.
only football rights when you see this, scoring Alessia once again, the winning goal this time for us, and Beth with the assist. It's if someone would have written this before, would have said, no, it can't happen this way, and it's just fantastic.
No, absolutely. Matt, you mentioned earlier that I was texting you saying, "Where are you? You're late." Can you just enlighten us on what actually happened? Because I still didn't get to the bottom of that.
Right. Okay. This is going to be fun and games. Everyone gather your drinks or wherever you are and sit down, have a nice rest, because it essentially I was meant to start the day really early, get the first train in to Liverpool. That one decided to break down right outside right at my station, so I had to then wait for the next one. The next one said that it was going to be able to get me into into Liverpool with just enough time. I missed that train by a minute. The train literally pulled away as I was coming up the steps to into the main train station, and it just got worse and worse. Essentially, I ended up having to take a mini detour through Warrington, and get a train down from Warrington down to London, and then Euston decided to have a signal failure. So I was sat on a train for 77 minutes at Wolverhampton station before they eventually said, "Okay, we're all ready to go." By that time, kickoff had, by the time that we got into Euston, kickoff had already started 16 minutes into the game. By the time that I had got into, or just as I got outside the station, Caledonian Road, not the Caledonian Road, the one next to it.
Fitzbury Park?
No, not Arsenal. Gillespie Road. As I was
Giuseppe
getting
Road.
Giuseppe Road.
Yeah, that's Arsenal.
As I was just getting up there, up to that one, all you can hear is this huge noise, and you think, "Oh, someone scored." So I'm sprinting up the steps. Stewards turning around saying, "Oh, bags, searches as well." I was like, I knew this was going to happen. So by the time that I get in, Arsenal have won a corner. So it wasn't great, and it wasn't a great night. By the time I got back, it was just after midnight. It was a really long day, but yeah,
But was it worth it?
it was worth it, yes, but not to be sitting on a train most of the day. But I loved every single minute of being there, and it's the reason why fans do it. They come in their droves. They come from all sorts. We've got friends from the Netherlands. We've got friends from Germany. We've got friends pretty much from everywhere. You've got fans coming over from Ireland and Scotland.
Yeah, I met a
And
couple
further
of
afield.
people from Boston that day that were down for the week, down for all week. So which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. They haven't got like away tickets, but they will be around to watch the game somewhere. But back to the game. Mads Pacheco, she made it 1-0 on 25th minute. 25th minute, which was against play, which was really interesting because we had 65% possession throughout that game, and there was just no end product from it. None literally went in until Kate McCabe scored her. Well, we all know that she scores bangers. That's it. And then it was followed by the beauty of the layoff from Beth Mead and on to Alessia Russo, which was absolutely sensational. But I think the biggest thing for us as Arsenal fans and the loudest cheer I thought was when Beth Mead came on. I mean, 11 months ago, we were all at the Emirates when Beth Mead tore her ACL. We watched her hobble from the East Stand all the way around to the tunnel. That day, we did lose to Man United 3-2. Ironically, Alessia Russo scored the winner. But that Sunday, she assisted Alessia Russo to score the winner for the Arsenal. I mean, you couldn't make this up. Andreas, what I want to ask you now is, like, what were your initial thoughts of Beth Mead coming back for the last 14 minutes or so? Obviously, we didn't know we had 12 minutes extra time, but if she was coming on the 88th minute, did you expect her to do anything but fill the gaps?
No, I mean, we were in a situation. You have to have the belief that something will happen. And when she came in, I thought, well, maybe there will be one chance, and why not just try? And this was what Beth tried to. She was going into the box, or trying to get the ball, and just one lucky strike or something like that. But you couldn't imagine this what happened. She gave the assist to Stina 1 minute before the winning goal, and Stina nearly scored. So the happy end was very close. And and then this situation when Leslie scored, I think it was not good from Van Domselaar. It was a ball she could get, but for us, thanks to everything that this happened this way, and couldn't have been better for Beth. And you must say it was not just luck. I think when Lotta passed the ball to Beth, she saw that her way to the goal was blocked. If she would have shoot herself, then the ball would have been blocked. And that's playing intelligence she showed in this moment. She saw Leslie behind her and then giving the pass to her. Absolutely brilliant. And for the whole team, it was the momentum to see Beth again on the pitch, and all the people shouting Mido, Mido. This changed the momentum, and maybe it was this moment we needed to bring Beth on, because my first thought was when we were 1-0 down nearly till the end, Beth will not come on in this match. But great decision from Jonas to have this, to have the courage to bring her on. Great.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Matt, what did you think of the Noel Marritz and Beth Mead swap? I mean, we went to 3 at the back, and we all know how we all feel about the 3 at the back at this point. We've had a few games and we're like, no, we just want the 4 back. But how did you feel about that swap? Was it obviously it was worth the gamble, but at the time, I wasn't sure, and I know I said that to you because I was sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
But what was your thoughts on that?
It just felt really bizarre at one point because it didn't feel like 3 at the back. I think in the end it felt very much like we were playing with 2 centre backs, 1 central midfielder, and then everyone else was playing up top. So it's a bit bizarre. But we've got some players that are so flexible in their versatility that they can play like Casey. Casey can quite easily slot in pretty much at left back or right back, wherever. Steph seems to be very confident now, more than she was a couple of months ago playing centre back. I don't know if that's because Australia have been sort of maybe suggesting that she can play as a centre back as well, and maybe using that during some of the friendlies that they've had in the lead up to the World Cup, and that's kind of benefited Arsenal a little bit more as well. But the whole formation at one point, I just got so confused. I was like, I'm sure we had more forwards than anyone else, and it's than we needed to. But I think at that point it was more. It felt like it was desperation, and the desperation came off. I know it sounds a bit odd, but when you throw on Chloe Lacasse and take off Leah Velti, and you also take off Noel Maritz as well. Well, actually, fair play to Noel Maritz, because Caitlin Ford thought she was coming off, and unfortunately not. And they had to tell her to go back and play on the left. And Noel actually came over and she sprinted across. That was great to see, because she wanted to give Beth the moment. Leah, I don't know if you've seen the video of Beth sort of water leading up. It was she's like, "Oh right, I'm going," and off, and Leah's in the background like she doesn't even recognise us anymore. No thanks or a bye or anything. Almost like a comically, but these are things that we're seeing on and off the screen. But this team is so together, and they fought so hard to get that point against United, and you thought, you know what, we try and get something from this game, and if it was one, I think would have been happy to get the 3 points, and for Beth to get the assist to get that 3 points. I think that's the cherry on top of the cake.
No, I couldn't agree with you more there. I mean, it's you talk about Leah Williams turning and letting it go, but it's one less person in our what we branded last season as the ACL club, and now there's only four of them there. It's fantastic because Beth's no longer a part of that. Although she's still coming back from it, she's not off the pitch. She's got some form of minutes. If you count during Timber, it's still 5, but I'm kind of not counting him at this point because he's looking back to be back in March, and it wasn't as bad as say Taya's, Viv, and Leah Williamson's, as well as Laura Greenvoiter. But it's just really good to see her back. I mean, I even dusted off the Lucky Mido shirt. It's still lucky. I've still not seen us lose it when I'm wearing that top, which is still fantastic. I've touched on this earlier, but we had 28 shots during that game, and only 4 were on target. I've noticed that we do really well in our wider areas, but it's in the box that's the issue. How do you think we could be more clinical, Andreas?
I think we tried too long with the same things that didn't work. Just crosses inside the box, and Villa defended this very well. Very late, we tried something different with shots or keeping the ball on the ground. Yeah, as I said, we seem to lack ideas in midfield, or it was also slow, and we gave Villa too much time. I missed higher pressing. This is one thing what Vic Belova does very, very good. Of course, this led to the equalizer, but this tackles and things, pressing them, getting them under pressure, and not always try the same, go wide, then across, or getting a corner, the corner high in. They were defending this because they knew what was coming. There was no surprise, no ideas, and just this aggressive tackles like this what Vic does, and what Laura always did. Why I preferred Laura compared to Noelle. I think we are missing this, but on the other side, the team spirit and the resilience from the team is just fantastic. If you see that we were behind in all matches, and now in 2 matches we scored in extra time the equalizer and the winning goal this time. This shows the spirit within the team. They never give up, and one runs for the other, one fights for the other. This funny situation when Caitlin thought that she will be subbed. She was running out, and then she realized, it's number 19 from Villa, and she went. So this shows that they stand together, and there's no reaction. Oh well, me going out? Oh no, why me? So no, it's just a fantastic team spirit. This gives us hope for that we start a run now in the season.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think we saw a lot of that last season, and our ACL club grew and grew and grew. And we literally crawled over the line against Villa at the end of last season. I mean, I kind of didn't expect to beat them at all, which we didn't. But I think a lot of people were against us because of that score. On the last 6 games, they beat us once, and that was that Meadow Park game. And I just kind of went with my stats. I went, no, we're going to win this. That's it. Although it got to 80 minutes and I'm like, come on, can we do something? But I do also want to have a look at individual performances, both for Villa and Arsenal. And I think for me, who stood out the most, it was Lucy Staniforth. She suffocated Kim Little in the way she played. She got the assist from Maz Pacheco, but she didn't allow Kim to get away from her. And Kim, as much as wise as she is, she just seemed to run out of ideas at one point. So I really do think Lucy Staniforth had a really good game. Matt, who would your outstanding player be for that game?
Oh, for Villa,
For Villa or Arsenal, it can be either. But I was watching Lucy Staniforth and I thought, whoa, she looks good.
to be honest, I managed to watch the first couple of minutes before I actually was able to get there, and I thought Lucy was lucky to still be on the pitch because actually she'd gone on really hard on Liverpool at the start of the game, which we got a free kick in the defending half. I feel like I just felt. I think that was the problem. There wasn't really anyone from Villa that sort of stood out and I thought was going to win this game for them. It just felt like they turned up, but no one gave that shining performance. There was no Kenza Dali to play Rachel Daly in, or Rachel Daly wasn't seeing a lot of the ball, and it was difficult. I think I'm going to have to say Daphne van Donstella actually did a really good job again. The amount of times that I've had to praise her over the World Cup, over the Euros, over whenever we've seen her play, she's been a fantastic player. And the fact that Villa got her for nothing just shows credit to them and where they want to go and where they want to be in that Champions League sooner rather than later. For Arsenal, it's difficult to call because Kim Little got player of the match from the supporters. Then you got Casey McCabe got the player of the match from BBC. And if I'm being honest, I think the game changer was actually, as Andreas said earlier, was Victoria Pelova because she was the one that created the assist for Katie in the first place, and she was the one to win the ball off. I've forgotten the Villa player. It just escapes me, but apparently it's foul according to some people. But referee's opinion at the end of the day, and if she doesn't give it, she doesn't give it.
And yeah, there was some questionable bits with that referee. I know there was a lot of shouting over the referee's a Tory when decisions weren't exactly absolutely what we wanted to hear, so to speak. But Andreas, who do you think had the best performance for you?
I can't say much about the Villa players because I concentrated on our players, and I think that Kim had a very good match. The way she keeps the ball and getting the ball back and then keeping it in difficult situations, and she's always the leader on the pitch. And for me, also Alessia had a fantastic match. Her workload was immense, and the way she secures the ball and how much she worked, her passes, and I think she was even better in the match when Stina came on. This is something I wouldn't have expected before the season, that these two fit together so well, because the runs Stina does give space for Alessia, and Alessia has, as I said, she can keep the ball very good, and she sees situations. She went on the wings. She made her runs. She put in crosses. I think she had a very, very good match. Two good situations in front of the goal, and of course the decisive goal. So for me, player of the match was between Kim and Leslie. Of course, the impact from Victoria, I already said this. Yeah.
absolutely. I think for me, the game changer of the game was Stina Blackstenius for me. I mean, I do prefer on the wings rather than through the middle. I think she brings so much more speed. She reads the game better, and yeah, she's just continued her run from the tail end of last season. She took it to the World Cup, and she's still continuing her run, which is it's great to see. Even Lena Hurtig's got more confidence, which we saw a few games ago. I know we haven't seen her recently, but it is there to see. How much did we need that win? I mean, how happy are we? We've finally got the first 3 points of the season.
You ask me?
Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, it was nearly a must-win game for us, because starting the season with only 1 point after 3 matches, this would have been terrible. You see, Chelsea is not playing good, but they are winning. They know how to win matches, even if you don't play good. And so it was really, really necessary for the table to have 4 points now, but also for the self-confidence. I mean, losing back-to-back at the Emirates 2 matches would have been terrible for the self-confidence. And now we can build on this. We got a draw away at United, what's not easy. We've got a win now, and now we have the big chance away at Bristol. Normally we should win, and so the season starts now for us, and we are back to winning ways. This was so important.
As Andreas is saying, it's important, and as we go in towards another international break, it's going to be more important that we got points on the board, because other teams are going to have other players ready. Chelsea are prime example of that. Essentially, Frank Kirby is now playing 90 minutes. There's other teams as well that will sooner or later they'll be playing their players that will coming back. Unfortunately, Gabby George has injured herself at Man United. For those that are wondering, I am a Gabby George fan. Not a fan of United though. Lottie is laughing for those that are or listening on audio.
I couldn't help myself there. I was waiting for the Gabby George and her joining the ACL club, although it's not really a great club to be a part of. Let's be honest.
No. Don't really get any benefits from it either. That's the other thing. Lottie's shaking her head, but it is
absolutely not. You just get fans missing you, and I mean, the reception for Beth Mead was good. Can you imagine what Vivian Miedemar is going to be like, or Leah Williamson,
or Laura
Vivois? Exactly. Can you imagine how much bigger it's going to be? I have a feeling with Viv and Leah Williamson, it's going to be massive.
I think they're going to be the changing points, aren't they? Where if say, it's January, isn't it? No, is it? No, it's not. We've got a North London derby later in this. Yeah. So I'll just say, for example,
we've got one before Christmas for the Conti Cup, I think.
Yeah, but let's just say that's the mindset for Leah. If I know it's not realistic enough, because it's give or take 11 months, 12 months. But if Leah was to come on for the last 10 minutes of North London derby, that it's in itself, she would be up for it. She would be given 100%. And it would give her a huge boost. And I think that's the other thing as well, is that we kind of needed some sort of boost to get us up and running this season. And I think some of these boosts will actually help us get those 3 points across the line.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the North London derby would be a perfect return for any of them. Viv loves a goal against Tottenham. Leah knows, well, they both know what it means, but it's kind of in Leah's blood. When you see her videos with Arsenal, you can see Arsenal is in the blood, and that's it. There is nothing else. And I don't ever see her moving on, I'll be honest with you. But I'm actually, Matt, as you were saying that, I was getting goosebumps. I think of Leah or Viv come back for a North London derby. I mean, that makes me excited. Andreas, are you looking forward to them coming back?
Yeah. I hope that Viv can get some minutes at the end of the year. Maybe she'll do some academy matches, and then maybe she can have a few minutes in December and then be back in January. And Leah said in an interview that she hopes to give an impact like a new signing in January. So this gives us hope that she might be in the squad in January, maybe get first minutes in February, because we really missed her, and we miss her a lot. I think we have problems in defense. I read that there were 8 shots in the 3 matches on our goal, and we conceded 4 goals. But not only the defensive part of Leah Williamson we are missing, it's also her build-up, her passes, her long balls from behind. I don't see any of our defenders do this like Leah does it. So we are really missing her, and yeah, it shows that that we are trying in each match a new center-back partnership. This shows how much we miss Leah, and as Jonas said, you only have one Leah Williamson in your squad, and if you miss her, there is no second Leah.
No.
That's true.
No, absolutely not. I couldn't agree more. I mean, Matt, when Leah does come back, I think this question that most hurts my heart because there's no Rafael anymore. Who do you pair her up with? I know she can work with all of these girls. Probably she hasn't got that relationship with Amanda yet, or Leah Cadena, but who do you make that centre back pairing once she's back and fully fit?
Well, it's going to be quite funny actually, because even if you think about it, when she does partner with Leia, she might have to start learning a little bit more Spanish. She's got a little bit of Portuguese in her locker because of she had to communicate a little bit more with Rafaeli. But there's nothing to say that she's not doing it on the sidelines a little bit in training and things like that. I think Jonas has a plan. I think he sees Amanda currently as the centre back he would like to choose. I think it might be a case of it might be Lotta and Leah. If Leah is able to come back a little bit quickly, the perfect opportunity would be the Conti Cups to try and test your centre backs pairings. The one issue we do have is who's going to play right back at the moment, because you've only got one right back at the moment. I hope whatever happens in that scenario is that they do have a good look and make a decision on that, because I don't want to see Emirates consistently playing every single game. Because
the thing is, you could throw Amanda Ilestad out there as well.
It
is an option. It is an option, but it's a case, will it work? Because for me, I know I've said this to you a few times, Matt. You've got WSL no Emirates, and then you've got Beast Mode Champions League no Emirates. And I'd love to sort of access that anger and that furiousness a bit more on home soil rather than saving it for no European games this season, because that's the no Emirates I absolutely adore. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore to bits, but it's that feistiness that in the Champions League that she has that makes me like her a little bit more, if that makes sense. But she doesn't come across like that in WSL, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do get what you mean. For me, Noelle is the Nacho Monreal of the team. She's Consistent. She's always given those 7 out of 10s, 7 8s out of 10s each week. But she needs a proper break. So there are options. Victoria can play there. She's done it for the Netherlands. You've also got Amanda, as you've also said. So that would then also, going back to the other question, if Amanda plays on the right, that then frees up Leia to come in with Leah, or Lotta to come in with Leah, and see how it goes. But it's very much like I'm sure Leah's pretty much, as soon as these centre backs were coming in, she was knocking on Jonas's door, going, right, who am I supposed to be partnering on this? So I'm sure she would have taken Jonas aside and made sure that what he wants, and so that she can get this partnership up and going off the field even before her season even starts.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with you there. What have you made of Noel Maritz, Andreas, so far this season from what we've seen?
Yeah, she's good, and she's good in every match. But my problem with her is she's not the outstanding player. You will never say player of the match was Noelle. So her performance is always on a good level. But yeah, do we need a right back on a better level, on top level? Maybe yes, but so far we can rely on her. We know what we get from Noelle. It's a good performance, but yeah, but maybe good is not enough in the top matches. And
Yeah.
and the other problem is if she has to play every match, this is too much. And the danger that she might get injured because we overplay her. Uh, this is also, we shouldn't forget this, and there's no alternative. Maybe we should try Amanda as a right back, or Vic Pelova, because I don't think Vic has had any bad match since we signed her in January. No matter where you put her on the pitch, she's always performing very, very good. And so maybe we can try her as a right back.
No, I mean, Matt, you've seen her at the right back for the Netherlands. I mean, I can't see anything wrong with that. Like just giving Noel a rest and putting Vic there and letting her start. What do you think?
Yes, but there's also been times this season where Casey's played right back.
But she's
So
more naturally left for me.
I think this is the thing, isn't it? It's almost like it feels like back to experimenting for the first half of the season, and then as soon as Jonas knows when the Laura, the Leah, Viv come back, he knows for certain that he's going to have in the second half of this season, he's going to have a plan in place. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he doesn't have to play round pegs in square holes. It's the other way around, isn't it? I've done that wrong. Lottie's laughing
It
at me.
sounds all right to me. It sounds about right to me. I go good. You can say it either way. To be fair, I think I'm not 100% sure on the actual saying itself. But gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. That is all we've got time for. Andreas, thank you for joining us again, but for a WSL episode. Definitely would have loved for you to come back on this season. Where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram and on Twitter with yeah, my alias name Andreas Marathoni, because I was a marathon runner. So you can find me there, and I'm trying to post from time to time, or more often on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. If you follow me, I'm happy, and if anyone sees me at Meadow Park or at the Emirates, just say hi. I'm happy to get in contact with fans, and thanks for having me in the show. I'm really proud that I could be here again, and whenever you want my opinion, I'll be back. I'd love to be back.
We'll definitely be having you back for sure. Matt, as always, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at MattLR28.
Thank you, Matt. If you need to find me, it's at Lottie_AWFC on Twitter and Instagram. Or even better, you could follow us at BAW Pod, which is the podcast's official page. It is ran between me, Matt, and Adam. We are usually the ones that do try and post now and again, as well as on our own accounts. But for now, it's goodbye, and we'll see you on Friday night.